think out of being just a generally positive person, you can make positive things happen.
What would you say has been your biggest failure over the years, and what do you think you most learned from it?
I suspect the most notable failure has been not knocking Coca-Cola off their pedestal.
Virgin Cola?
Virgin Cola. We had a good try. For a year or two, it looked like we were going to take Coke for everything they had. We were outselling them in Britain, in all the retailers that we were stocked. And we were outselling Pepsi. I then got a bit too big for my boots, and I arrived in Times Square with a Sherman tank from Britain. I crushed all these Coca-Cola and Pepsi cans. Cola was flying everywhere. And I then turned our Sherman tank's turret onto the Coca-Cola sign in the middle of Times Square. Anyway, Coke didn't take that too kindly. The next day in Atlanta headquarters, they got bagfuls of suitcases of money. They got a DC-10 on the runway at Atlanta. They filled it with SWAT teams. They arrived in England, and retailers suddenly became very wealthy, and all our Virgin Cola disappeared off the shelves. And they basically kneecapped.
For real?
Kneecapped us. Yeah.
I mean, it was that quick.
No, they kneecapped us. I mean, very, very systematically. And we did not know this was going on. I mean, I would ring up Tesco's and say, "What are you doing? You've taken Virgin Cola off all the shelves." And they would say, I don't know, they would come up with some excuse. But so it wasn't until about a year later that a lady arrived who announced to me that she was the new manager of Virgin Group at Lloyd's Bank, and we went out to dinner, and it turned out that she was the lady at Coke at the time who'd been in charge of the kneecapping exercise, and now she was my bank manager, and I wasn't sure whether to strangle her or not.
You said before, real leaders see opportunities where others only see challenges. Explain that.
I look at everything as an opportunity. So I'm positive about life generally, and I generally feel that you can find ways of solving problems and making things work. And I'm definitely a sort of glass, nearly full kind of person rather than a glass half full. So, I think out of being just a generally positive person, you can make positive things happen.
What do you think about during your decision-making process?
So if I come up with an idea for a new business, I don't bring in accounting firms to cost analyze it, because one accounting firm will say it's a good idea, another accounting firm will say it's a bad idea. So if I, for instance, had brought in an accounting firm to say, will Virgin Atlantic work when we started the airline, I'm sure they would have said no way. But what I knew was if I could create the kind of airline I'd want to fly on that was exceptionally better than any other airline flying, that it was likely that more money would come in the year than go, and I'd have money left over at the end of the year. And that turned out to be the case, because people loved Virgin Atlantic. They went out of their way to fly it. The planes were full, and at the end of the year, we ended up getting our second 747, and the end of the next year, our third and fourth 747, and so it grew. So my whole attitude to life is, if you create a new business that's the best in its field, it's likely to survive. When we took on Coca-Cola, a can of cola, Virgin Cola, and a can of Coke, ours may taste a little bit better than theirs, but we're not exceptionally better, and therefore it was easy for them to, just their sheer might and their sheer market dominance, they could put us out of business. But when you've got British Airways versus Virgin Atlantic, when they tried to put us out of business, Virgin Atlantic was a much better airline, so people didn't desert us in droves.